Very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on the show. Tonight is the day before the big day. Miami Adebayo. On the show tonight is going to be all about the African Cup of Nations. The Super Eagles of Nigeria will be squaring off against the Atlas Lions of Morocco, and of course, it's the big one, of course, on the other side, of course, the Senegal Lions of Senegal and the Pharaohs of Egypt also will lock horns. It's going to be very interesting to see the two teams that make it to the final of the biggest football tournament on the continent, talking about the AFCON, the African Cup of Nations. That's going to dominate our thoughts on show. We're going to look at it from different angles tonight on the show, and we urge you to just sit back, relax, even as we take you on a trip across the money-spinning world of sport. Let me quickly introduce our guest. Seated with me in the Lagos studio, Kehinde Idris joins us on the show tonight. Kehinde Idris, greetings to you. Thanks for finding time to be with us on the show tonight.
Very, very, happy to be here. It's a happy new year to our esteemed viewer and also to you, the entire team of Sports Tonight. I saw the menu. It's all about the African Cup of Nations. But every conversation around the world now, I don't care what they are talking about in the world of football. It's major around the African Cup of Nations. Is it that a club is talking about a player that was missed, or a country is talking about the players that are not around, or the African Cup of Nations itself, how it has panned out. And something significant had happened in this African Cup of Nations. We did not see any shocker. Top teams really came to the party. If you are a second fiddle in any game, you go home. And that is what we've seen all the way till today. Quarterfinals, Mali, Senegal. Mali, you're small at Senegal, you go home. Cote d'Ivoire, Egypt, no disrespect to Cote d'Ivoire. Egypt seemed like the bigger team. Nigeria, Algeria. Nigeria is more informed. Algeria had to go home. We saw Morocco against Cameroon. Morocco was just in that game all the way.
All right.
Cameroon had to go home. So it's been an African Cup of Nations for the big boys.
That's a mouthful from Kehinde Idris. And of course, we're not even yet into the AFCON segment proper, but he had to give you that as a teaser for what we're going to do on the show tonight. We're going to have a robust conversation around the Africa Cup of Nations. But before we do that on the show tonight, let's quickly digress a little and take you on a journey talking about technology and innovation. Let's quickly bring to you what BetFuse is doing. And of course, they need little or no introduction when it comes to sports prediction and providing information. Recently in Lagos, BetFuse launched the 2.0, the version of their new app is the latest update. It provides a lot of features and, of course, a lot of giveaway for fans who need help, who need vital information before they make they put their money on the games that they love. This report that you're about to see, of course, takes a look at what BetFuse is offering to sports lovers, Major League Football lovers, and of course the innovations they have brought to the table and what the fans stand to enjoy.
Interactive, fun, rewarding, rewarding.
Sports information and prediction platform BetFuse has officially launched its BetFuse 2.0 application in Lagos, marking a significant upgrade to its digital platform. The event attracted tech enthusiasts, industry stakeholders, brand partners, and members of the media. Everyone is eager to witness the unveiling of the new app designed to enhance user engagement and reliability.
Alright, a toast to BetFuse version 2.0. Thank you all.
So ladies and gentlemen, the official launch of our version 2.0. The BetFuse app, and as we raise our glass to toast tonight, ladies and gentlemen, together we say,
BetFuse 2.0 introduces smarter prediction tools, faster navigation, and an improved interface aimed at making the platform more efficient and accessible.
We are here for the BetFuse 2.0 app launch. Basically, we launched the first app in December 2022, and we are here to evolve the app to a better stage. The major reason why we are doing this is because we've noticed that sports world is evolving, basically, and there are some things that are evolving with it. So we believe people can actually evolve with it too. We are bringing in some app features that we know very well that people are going to enjoy. But one major aim of the BetFuse app particularly is that it is the best sports predictions platform that you can get predictions from, even before you move to some other bookies which are Sportingbet and all that. You get? So one major reason why we are trying our possible best to evolve this app so that we can make sure that everybody is tutored and learned on the right path and how they can go about their predictions basically.
The app is meant to be fun for users, meant to be very interactive for users and seamless and most especially user-friendly for everyone to use. The major purpose of the app is to actually book sports-related sports games on the app, and as well we've actually integrated fun users more engaged. You can actually get sport-related news on the app. You can also play trivia games, like I said, and win rewards from there. If you play the games, you can stand a chance to win the BetFuse merch and other gift items from BetFuse as well. You can actually follow up on live matches on the app from previous matches that were played yesterday, the current matches that are actually playing today, and the next features that we're playing tomorrow. So it has actually been a very great update from the previous app, because the previous app, the BetFuse 1.0, was majorly known for just sports predictions and just sport-related news. But with the BetFuse 2.0, we've gone further to integrate engaging features which have made the app more seamless, user-friendly, basically.
Okay, what I have to say is that if you have interest in anything betting or anything sports game, before you put your money to stake, you should have a platform that will be predicting a game for you, which is BetFuse. I can recommend BetFuse for you as a biggest, as number one in anything sport prediction. Yes.
Okay, myself, I'm a testimony. I use BetFuse every day, and I get and clear. So, and I still get my fans as a brother ambassador to this company. My fans, they always recommend, Gege, we are benefiting, so something like that. I was grateful, yeah. Because of the testimonies, you know, when people have been using something, there's good remark. Gege, I'm benefiting, so that testimony alone is enough reason why people should use BetFuse.
The new version of the BetFuse app reflects the brand's commitment to innovation and continuous improvement.
For this version 2, we've made a lot of changes. We've improved. We've done a lot of user interface to be able to, for users to be able to access the app well, and that's why we are launching the version 2.0. So with the version 2.0, we have a lot of things added to it for user friendly base. Well, we can say the prediction we have ups and downs, and we can say for our accuracy we can give let's say 90% accuracy, and so far so good. We are improving gradually. We get there.
As competition in the sector continues to grow, industry watchers say sustained innovation and responsible engagement will remain key to building trust and long-term growth in Nigeria's evolving tech landscape.
All right, welcome back. It's time to dive straight in. Let me quickly bring in our guests. That will be the panel on the show tonight. Give us some of their perspectives with regards to what is going to happen tomorrow. Let's bring in Bada Akintunde Johnson. He joins us on the show tonight. Bada, greetings to you. Thanks for finding time to be with us on the show tonight.
Yeah, greetings to you too, Yemi. It's always a pleasure to be here, especially on the eve of a big game, potentially the biggest game, barred maybe the World Cup playoffs finals against Congo Democratic Republic, which unfortunately we lost on penalties. This probably is the biggest game that we've played over the last 24 months. If you take out the final of after the last AFCON, which unfortunately we lost again. So I've referenced two big games in recent history that we've lost. Hopefully, that turns around tomorrow in our favor, and we win in front of what is expected to be a vociferous, passionate home support for the Moroccan national team. That stadium is going to be rocking, and I do hope that our players have the temperament, the mentality, the character to rise above the noise, focus on the game, and produce their best effort to get us past the formidable home side, it must be said, with world-class players, solid defensive record, only one goal considered so far in this competition, on a long winning run now, and an undefeated run since they drew against Mali in the group stages. So yeah, it's a very daunting task, but one that we do believe that what so far to me is the best team in the competition, so the Super Eagles can overcome.
All right. Let's also bring in Abdurrahim Kabor, a Moroccan journalist, joins us on the show tonight. Abdurrahim, greetings to you. Thanks for joining us on the show. And let me ask you, what's the mood like in Morocco?
Well, I'm happy to be here with you. Well, the mood, the energy here is great. People are celebrating. You know, the vibes here are amazing. Like people are wearing national Moroccan jerseys, wearing flags. Also, there is a lot of Nigerian fans here. They are like chanting. Also, I saw the Nigerian bus earlier, and there were a lot of Nigerian fans there. So people are expecting to be a great game, and are excited for the game, and hoping that, of course, Morocco will win. So that's it.
All right, let me throw this one at you as well. The fans, you've been able to see the two sets of fans, the Nigerian fans, the Moroccan fans. What have they been saying ahead of the game? I mean, two strong opponents squaring off in the semi-final, in a game some people feel should probably be the final.
Yes, of course. The people here are like, it's hard to predict the game because both teams are amazing. They haven't lost any game yet. As you know, Nigeria has the strongest attack in the tournament. They scored 14 goals, as well as Morocco have like the best defensive record in the tournament now. So it's really hard to predict the game, and you know, it's going to be a tense game, and I hope that Morocco and Nigeria will be playing good and give us a good game to watch. And but let's say that the people are hesitated of the game. They can't like choose because it's hard to predict the game. Both teams are amazing.
All right, Kaide Idris with me in the Lagos studio. The setup, the best attack against the best defense. Where do you think the pendulum will swing?
I think both have to use what they have as their strengths, you know, the best. I've seen that Moroccan defense, watertight. You just must do enough work for you to break them down. Starting from, you know, the goalkeeper, Yassine Bono, all the way to the defense line, you know, also led by Ashraf Hakimi, who is also the captain of the team. So they are not leaving anything without, you know, without any check. And for the Nigerian team, superb attack. Ademola, Akor, Victor Osimhen, and then with a touch of Alex Iwobi in that midfield, I think we're in for something very, very marvelous. But I would say time and time again, I think seeing every team yet all the way to the semi-final stage, I think the Nigerian Super Eagles are still the best team in the tournament for me, not because I'm a Nigerian, but from what we've seen all of these teams get to play.
I was about to accuse you of being too patriotic.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
But that said, let's quickly show to you the match details as you can see on your screen. Of course, the game will be played tomorrow. Nigeria up against Morocco. The venue is the Prince Moulay Abdallah Stadium in Rabat, and the time is 8 p.m. Of course in Morocco, but of course it's going to be 9 p.m. In Nigeria. All right, so let's quickly take a look at the other semi-final, the Senegal Lions up against the Pharaohs of Egypt. That game will be played before ours, of course. And this is the head-to-head. I'm going to go to Bada shortly, but this is the head-to-head. In 11 matches played, the Moroccans have an edge. They've won 6. Nigeria has won 3. I can remember now why the generation before us feared the North Africans more, because some of these victories came during that period. The last taste of defeat that I can remember from the hands of Morocco was at the 2004 Nations Cup. So there you have it. And of course, this is the head-to-head overall. And head-to-head at the AFCON. Even at the AFCON, Morocco has beaten Nigeria more times than Nigeria had beaten Morocco. And these are some of the times we've played against each other in that. Way back to when you had the likes of Segun Odegbami playing, some of these things have been happening. So there you have it. These are the times we've played. And of course, that time Nigeria beat them at the Nations Cup 1980 that we hosted and won. But let me just quickly go to Bada, because I want to hear his comment before we go on the break. We have just about a minute before we go on the break. But I just wanted you to quickly pitch in a minute or less if you can. What do you think the Super Eagles should do? Would you want the Super Eagles to do anything different, or just stick with what they've been doing that seem to have been working so far in this tournament?
Stick to what happened against both Madagascar and Algeria, the last 2 games, where some of the defensive frailties they had shown in earlier matches, they completely took out of their game. They were solid defensively. The work ethic in the team, how they work for one another, the intensity of the press, keep that up. There's not much you want to change. Those 2 performances, the last 2 performances, were almost flawless, particularly the one against Algeria, where the Algerians were limited to 0 shot on target. It's not a lot of times that you play a North African team and you are able to achieve that. So it's more about what the Super Eagles can keep doing and keep improving on versus what they didn't do before that I want them to add, because you can't legislate against a team that scored 2 goals, didn't concede any, didn't even concede a shot on target.
All right. Well, we'll leave it at that for now. We need to go on a quick break, but just let our viewers know that on the DSTV platform, when we return from the break, you will be on to Inside the Niger Delta with Mahmoud Akuga. But on all the other platforms, many of them, you'll still be with us, and we will be talking sports, especially the African Cup of Nations. That will be when we return from this break. Let's go on that break. We're back for more Sports Tonight. All right, welcome back. Well, Abdurrahim is still with us. So, Abdurrahim, let me bring you back into the conversation. And I just want to ask you your own expectation. I know we're all journalists doing our job, and we try not to let our passion speak through our mouths, but sometimes you can't help. What are you seeing? If you have a crystal ball, what is it telling you? What do you think will happen between the Atlas Lions of Morocco and the Super Eagles of Nigeria tomorrow? And of course, showing from the stats, the Moroccans do have an edge, it must be said. But again, stats don't play football.
Yes, of course. As I said, it will be a really difficult game for both teams because, like, both teams been amazing in the tournament. And historically, as you said, Morocco had the edge when they won 6 times, and Nigeria won 3 times, and they drew two times. So, and also to mention that historically, our only title our only trophy in the AFCON was against Nigeria in the final in 1976. So I think historically we have the edge, but now everything is different. Both teams are great. Nigeria have strong attack. They have two African Ballon d'Ors winners Lokman and Osimhen. They play at the biggest club in Europe, as well as Morocco have the best players. They have Ibrahim Diaz, Ashraf Hakimi. I think the game will be really, really tense because both team, I think, they will be cautious at the beginning because no one will want to concede an early goal. So both team will be cautious. I think the game will go to extra times, and of course, because I'm a Moroccan, I will say that Morocco will win in penalties, and I hope that Morocco will win.
All right, you are entitled to that hope, and I won't deny you that. But before we let you go, Abdurrahim, what role do you think the crowd will play tomorrow? Do you think it's going to be heavily in favor of Morocco, or you think it doesn't matter? These are two very strong teams.
No, of course, the supporters will matter because Regragui said today at the press conference, they say they want the supporters to be the 12 men. So supporters always matter at football. We're playing at home soil, and that gives us an advantage. So supporters will play a huge role in pressing Nigeria. I think it will be a difficult game, and for Nigeria, of course, and for Morocco, of course, and the supporters will play a huge role in the match.
All right, Abdurrahim Kabor, I want to thank you for your time on the show. Hopefully, we do this again, maybe after Nigeria's victory over Morocco tomorrow.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me, and thank you.
All right. I just had to do a fast one on him. Kane Idris is still with me here. So, Kane Idris, tomorrow, the big game. Is there any reason for the apprehension? Because we've established that these are two strong sides, both good. Game could go either way. But the word on the street is that a lot of people feeling that, look, you have to add the fans and the referee to the equation. I don't know if you agree with that assertion.
What streets? Morocco streets or
the fans or the streets of Lagos and Nigeria? That you have to have the fans and the referee, the officiating team, that is going to be a factor. Do you agree?
I totally agree.
It's going to be a factor.
Yes, Ambada said something in his opening. He said mentality. You just have to find a way to keep yourself as cool as possible, play as clean as possible.
To lock out the noise.
To lock out the noise. To lock out any chances of things going the other way. See, tomorrow, any 50-50 issue, you almost could say it will go in the way of the Moroccans. It happens everywhere. I wouldn't blame if it happens for Morocco tomorrow, because their own team, top team, there is the semi-final, the referee in the center, the fourth referee, VAR, they will all want to be careful of the home side. That's why we talk about home and away games, where you use everything in your advantage when you're at home, because you will lose all those advantage when you're away. And Morocco wants to use that. That is why we need to go in there on top of our game, bring everything that is called a game to Abdullahi tomorrow and do that. See, the crowd will want to get under your skin. 1, 2, 3 players, I'm sure. Not just the players, the crowd will be talking about players that they want to get under their skin in the Nigerian setup. They want to get them off their knock them off, and then let them play to what the crowd wants them to play. Then the players will follow suit. I'm talking of the opposing players, the Moroccans. Then if you start to play in that way, the referee has no choice. So you are playing everything. Like everything is against you, and you need to be careful. But we've seen how the Nigerians
All right.
have played over time. We played 2 North African teams, and we know how it is. Against Tunisia, it was deafening. Against Algeria, it was deafening. That's 2 North African teams, not the host. Now we're playing another North African team that is the host, a top team. It's the semi-final. Expect that the entire stadium will be buzzing with support for the Moroccans. But you're professionals. Everybody in that Nigerian squad have played at vociferous arenas
Before.
around the world.
All right.
So you should understand what's coming.
All right, let me go to Bada now quickly. Coach Eric Schell today talked about Wilfred Ndidi, says, well, we're going to miss him. Probably there might be a void, but we have players who could fill that void. That's what the coach has said. But I'm asking you, quick one. Do you think whatever changes we make to, or whatever replacement we bring in for Wilfred Ndidi, do you think is going to upset the balance, change the team dynamics? Do you think we're still going to be able to play the same way?
Well, I mean, see, sometimes coaches respond to unavailability of key players by changing the structure of the system. I hope that's not the case, because since we started to play the double pivot in Onyeka and Ndidi, our game has become a lot more balanced. It's no coincidence that since then we haven't conceded. When both of them have started and we've played a 3-man attack, we've looked a lot more balanced. We've been a lot more fluid. Those two with Alex Iwobi give us the work rate, the legs, as well as when we do get on the ball, the ability to transition very quickly. So I hope it's a change of personnel where he brings in Anoyedika, who's done well in the games that he's played. He's actually even scored 2 goals in this competition. To just slot in there beside Frank Onyeka, and it's business as usual, or business as it was against Algeria and against Mozambique. So we will miss the leadership, because don't forget he's also the captain. He's one of the most experienced members of the team, so his voice on the pitch, his leadership from behind will be missed. But we do have, when you talk about talent and quality, to call on the bench, and so I don't expect that in terms of how the system functions tomorrow that we miss much.
All right, let's talk about tactics a little and some matchups that will likely happen. Bruno Onyemaechi, our left back, has been the source of some of the goals, the crosses, and some of the. But now he's going to come up against Achraf Hakimi, who also is the guy that most of those attacks for Morocco might be coming true. So do you sense that there might be some sort of caution on our part not to make him bump forward as he normally would, so as not to give spaces behind? And if that's what we do, does it take away something from our game?
I don't think it does take away much. There are ways you counter the threat of wide men, especially if they are wing backs. It's like a game of chess, really. You expect that one of the two holding midfielders is able to plug the hole that he leaves, or one of the centre backs goes across when he does leave. But then when the attacking player is as clever, as experienced, and as talented as Achraf Hakimi, it might be easier said than done. But what you also want to do is to pin him back and give him something or two to worry about, in which case Ademola Lookman, who isn't traditionally a wide man in the, like I said, the traditional sense of it, in this team is more like the guy who gets the license to roam, does a lot of his work on the left-hand side in this game, particularly for the purpose of pinning back Achraf Hakimi and making sure that he doesn't get the freedom of Rabat tomorrow to just run riot. So it will be a combination of tactics. It will also be how the system functions in the sense that when Bruno goes forward, he's such a good crosser of the ball, and you don't want to lose that. The kind of cross with which he found Osimhen for our goal against Algeria is the kind of cross that you would expect and hope that he gets 2 or 3 right tomorrow, because they are so dangerous to defend. And the Nigerian team can easily score, even if it's not Osimhen, it could be Akko, it could be anybody else who gets on the end of those crosses. So you don't want to have him too worried about Ashraf Hakimi to the extent where he can't play his normal game or he can't get forward. What you want is a system where either Calvin Bassey can shuffle across to deal with the threat when they do put the ball in behind him if we lose it in a quick transition, or you have either of the holding midfielders who can shuffle across and snuff out the danger, and then they can get back into position.
All right. Okay, so let's listen to Coach Eric Schell, and of course, Alex will be ahead of the big game tomorrow.
Semi-final. We played our last game against Algeria. It was a good game for us. Now, a big game against a big team. So, we will enter slowly in this game because we have a last training session today, and we will be ready for tomorrow. When I took this job, the reality, I was a fan of this national team since maybe the World Cup in France in 1998. I bought my jersey every time I traveled to watch the game. So I was a fan, and every time when this national team played, I watched the game. So Alex was a guy who I didn't know this guy before because I watched this game in Fulham and in national team, and for me, he's a player who he has an IQ, very, 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 very good, and some players want just to play football. They want to take some pleasure on the pitch. They want to play with other football who smell the football, who feel the football. And Alex is a player like that. I don't pay the player. I have no money. Emotionally, like we said, me and Alex, we don't know what happened after this game, if we win or if we lose, because this is the football. But like I said, I'm so proud of my player. They are together. We love together. We are happy together. We suffer together. And like Alex said, we are a family. So me now, I already win because I will go out this tournament with a 28 brother. So I'm very happy. I'm very happy about that.
For me, I feel like the difference is the sense of brotherhood, the family environment that we've created for each other. Of course, the previous AFCONs, we've done really well. The team have been so strong, but at the same time, the team was young and we were learning about each other. I feel like right now, everybody's entering their prime. Everyone's doing well respectfully for their clubs, and you can see the joy and the chemistry that we have when we're playing for our country. I mean, it's not just on the pitch, also off the pitch. Everybody's like, there's a big unity, there's a big family, and it starts from the coach as well as the players. Like, he's brought that brotherhood, and it's nice because it's like we're one big family, and you can see on the pitch that we're fighting for each other. So I feel like that's bringing out the best, not just in me, but in all the players. I think no matter if it's the World Cup qualifiers, AFCON, we've always given 100%. I don't know where it is now. I feel like everybody has this task ahead that we want to win every game. I feel like in the World Cup qualifiers, we wanted to win as well, but it was, of course, a difficult moment for us. But with this, obviously, disappointment, we kind of use it as motivation to go and achieve something for our country, for ourselves, for our family. So I can't pinpoint where it is to say there's something different. I just know we have the same mindset, the same mentality, and the same application. So we're just grateful that we're doing really well at the moment. And the same attitude we had in the World Cup qualifiers is the same attitude we have in the AFCON. And we're just trying to do our best.
All right, we just want to do our best. Alex Iwobi, Kaide Idris, we want to talk about the other things, but first, before we go to the other things, Alex Iwobi, is this the same Alex Iwobi? What has changed? Is it the system? Is it, I don't know, people have called him all sorts of names, talked about his lack of defensive ability, talked about his not having the legs and everything. But with his performance in this tournament, I don't think any fair-minded person will say anything bad about Alex Iwobi.
In fact, he's up for player of the tournament already. So I think Alex Iwobi's role was just adjusted. Before, you put him on the wide side.
So you're putting it down to change your formation?
Yes, on the wide side to the right, he plays. And there are some coaches who had used him as, a double. As a pivot, he needs to mark, and then when he receives the ball, he needs to distribute. Alex has never been that, whether it's from Arsenal to Everton all the way to Fulham. He's been a player who is at the center of everything. He's a central midfielder, loves to move and distribute the ball, or better still, behind the attacker. Alex knows how to pick out passes. We've seen that while he played with, Mesut Ozil. And I think Richel got that and really has made this man independent in the role he's best at. And I'm looking at the Moroccan team, and I'm saying this is going to be very, very handful. And if without Wilfred Ndidi, I think something needs to be given. Alex, Rafael Onyedika, Frank Onyeka. I don't know if Rafael will be the one coming in place. We've got a game in our hand.
All right, let's see. All right, I mean, you could be forgiven if you thought that it was only Nigeria that was playing tomorrow, but that's not the case. Senegal will take on Egypt. So I'm just quickly going to go across, talk about the match details, head-to-head. Then, of course, I'll get Bada for his final remarks on that particular game. And this is it. Tomorrow, first semi-final. The venue is at Tangier Stadium. The time is, of course, 5 p.m., but of course, it's going to be 6 p.m. in Nigeria. And of course, this is it, the semi-final, first semi-final tomorrow, Senegal and Egypt. Let's see, head-to-head, overall, Senegal and Egypt has played 15 times, and of course, the Egyptians have the upper hand. They've won 5 times to Senegal's, they've won 7 times to Senegal's 5, and of course, head-to-head at AFCON is 2 apiece and 1 draw for them. But we'll see what happens tomorrow, all right? So, of course, the Egyptians have also outscored the Senegalese in the matches played. All right, let me go to Bada for his final remarks on the show tonight. We don't want to keep him for too long. But I just want to get your take on what you think will happen between Senegal and Egypt tomorrow. There are a few people who feel these 2 teams have progressed but have not really played to their potentials, and we might likely see the best of both teams tomorrow.
Well, I wouldn't be holding my breath, to be honest, in terms of the quality of their play, improving super significantly. I think the Egyptians are probably one of the most mature teams you'll find anywhere, in that they pace themselves, they mature into the competition, they've got a lot of experience, they are the record winners of this competition. And I think if any game serves as some kind of teaser to what would happen tomorrow, it was the game they just concluded, the quarterfinal game they concluded a few days ago, where the Ivorians, on paper, as far as I was concerned, based on recent history, based on quality of players, were the more fancied side. But the Egyptians played a very, very tactical game. They sat behind the ball and they utilized their chances when they arrived. And before you knew what was going on, they scored early. The Ivorians went at them, equalized. But what did they do? They scored 2 more goals. They clincher early in the second half, and there was no game to chase anymore. So the Senegalese would have to play very, very, very well. They'll probably be the team that has to produce what they haven't done so far in this competition to get back past the Egyptians. Because when Egypt, historically, when they get this far in this competition, they are very difficult to stop. Mo Salah has scored 4 goals. They've got experience across the park. What they have going for them versus other teams is that they've got a team that is mostly drawn from the home league. And so there's a lot of understanding, cohesion, and familiarity in the way that they play and in the way they execute tactically. So, yeah, on paper, I fancy Senegal to do it, but I saw that game against Ivory Coast, between Ivory Coast and Egypt, and it just looks to me like if the Senegalese don't come to the party early, switched on from the first whistle, and the Egyptians get their noses in front, they have the maturity and the technical know-how and they're tactically savvy to see out games like that. So I think what is most key in that game will be who gets the first goal.
All right, Barakade Johnson, I want to thank you for your time on the show. Hopefully, we'll get to do this again some other time.
Thanks for having me as always. Thank you.
All right. So, with the few minutes we have left, Kade Idris, 2 semi-finals, your picks.
2 semi-finals with 5 African Footballer of the Year scattered in and around there. There is Mo Salah, there is Sane, there is Victor Osimhen, Ademola Lookman, also recently Achraf Hakimi, Mammoth, Big. I think this is what African football is about, and I've heard people say one of them is Ralph Ferdinand say if you're not putting it at the level of the Copa America, of the Euros, then you're wrong, because the stars in the world are present at the African Cup of Nations, and yes, we're in for a treat tomorrow for these 2 games. Blockbusters, I'm using movie terms, but it's going to be a movie tomorrow. I think for me, Senegal on paper.
Don't shy away from making the call. Just make the call. We need to end this segment.
I think I'll go with Senegal, Nigeria, probably because of West Africa. But Senegal, I think I've got a slight edge over Egypt and Nigeria. I think they've played the best football in this tournament, so they should head Morocco.
All right, I've managed to put Kade Idris on the spot, and he has picked. But of course, I may not talk about the other semi-final, but of course, I want Nigeria to win. And that does it for this segment. You see us on the other side when we try to wrap up the show. All right, so as we prepare to go, let's quickly show you fixtures in the Nigeria Premier Football League. As we prepare to go, there you have it, match day 20 fixtures. I'll run through them. Kade Idris will get 30 seconds to say something. Elkanami Warriors of Bayelsa United. Barao FC will take on Niger Tornadoes. Abia Warriors will take on Plateau United. Rangers International will take on Rivers United. Pick of the bunch for me, Kwara United up against Bedell Insurance. Nasarawa United will take on Kano Pillars. Rainbow Stars up against Ikorodu City, a proper Southwest derby right there. Shooting Stars up against Ehimba, another very big game. Then Wiki Tourists up against Warri Wolves. All of these games, match day 20. Interesting fixtures in the Nigeria Premier Football League. Your parting shot, Kade Idris, as we go. Which of these fixtures jump at you?
3 fixtures, really. 3SC.
But you don't have the time. You have to
yes,
run
3SC versus Ehimba, most definitely. I've had my eyes glued on that. Remo versus the Ikorodu City Southwestern Derby, always crazy. So I'll be seeing that. Then Rangers against Rivers, most definitely. For Rivers, I would be following this game because there's just something about me and Rivers. Having Finidi the George in the mix, I want to see them continue to do so well.
That's a good place to leave it on the show tonight. Kade Idris, I want to thank you for your time on the show. Hopefully we'll do this again some other time.
Yeah, it's a new year. We're starting afresh, and we'll do so many more.
All right. That's the show today. We do hope that you've enjoyed everything we've been able to bring to you. All the best to the Super Eagles of Nigeria when they take on the Atlas Lions of Morocco tomorrow at the African Cup of Nations. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you again tomorrow. I'm Emi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.